Welcome to the October Plan with Me. I have a few fans going on because, as you know, I always get overheated. So hopefully that is not affecting the sound quality. I could turn a light on. Hold on. And there, now I'm brighter. I might be a little too bright. So let's turn this down. There we go. All right, so I know if you're like me, you're like, how did the month go by so fast and it's already over? But yeah, it happens. So let's go ahead and get into today's slides. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, so it is like so much nicer here, the weather. It's still like a high of 90 every day, but it's not like awful 90. It's like like by the time it's ready for me to walk after dinner at like 4:30, it's cooled down to like 85, 89, which I know still sounds really hot, but it's like, I don't know, it just feels different, I think, because we finally entered into fall weather. There's less thunderstorms, so I don't have to hibernate as much, so I am walking more, so that's like way better for me. And also there's pumpkin everything everywhere. Pumpkin cookies, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin pie. So I don't know why. I just really like pumpkin. I know some people don't, which is very rare, but yeah, I am one of the pumpkin lovers. So it's a long month. You got 31 days, and yeah, hopefully that excites you to like work on some of your goals. I know this used to be called Preptober because of NaNoWriMo, and it still kind of is. If you're going to write a novel for November, there's some alternatives. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And yeah, let's keep going. All right, so this month your worksheet is actually a sales page copywriting like prompt. So in the actual Squarespace website that you got this month, I gave you some bonus pages, and one of them was a sales page. So to help you write your sales page, you could write this. It's funny because I looked through some of my old emails to look for like the sales copy that I've paid for in the past. And I've paid, just so you know, sales pages used to be so expensive before AI was invented. And, you know, my friend Lauren, who is like, she doesn't do it anymore, was an amazing copywriter. And even with a discount, it was like $2,000 for a single page. And then Lander Sulzer, I think she quit too. And she was like $3,000, $3,500 for a page. So, you know, I think that is probably the first thing I've seen of where AI has totally just replaced an entire industry. I can't imagine. I see people, like, I shouldn't say see people. I actually don't see any copywriters at all, ever. So that is a profession that is no longer in business, completely obsolete. So there's that. Anyway, so all of these prompts in here will just kind of reiterate for you what to write. And even then, there's a ton of different and I can't think of any off the top of my head, of course, but I've done demos on them before where they'll make a website for you. They'll actually make the whole website, the sales page for you, plus all of the copy. And so, yeah, there's that. You don't need to do any thinking if you don't want to. All right, so this month, so last month you had a digital products Squarespace template, and then if you were in the author resource library, you also received an author Squarespace template. So this month is coaching services. So I'm going to just show it to you really quickly. So if I do website share, there we go. All right, so this is on the bottom. This is a website. Over here at the top left is basically just a word-based logo, so no like actual logo things. Over here at the top, I don't know if you can see it because it's so small, but that is a favicon. I never know how to say it right, but I actually put one in there for you. It's a little blue like coffee mug, so you can change that. So don't forget, go back to last month's plan with me, and I like walked you through some of those screenshots. You have an about page over here, and I guess let me scroll down the the homepage first. So down here, you can change, remember, all of the text. It's really easy. You can change the way this looks. You can make it a wave. You can change the fonts, the colors, obviously all of the photos, everything else. And these, you can put information about yourself, information. And about pages usually, even though it sounds like it's an about you, it's really about them in convincing them to purchase and convert into a paying customer for you. Services over here, remember, because this is coaching based, so the services underneath here are group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and then retreats, which is pretty much, I think, all coaches do. I don't know. I've never been a coach. But they have the coaching process explained, and then podcasts or YouTube or whatever you want to put down here as a blog. And then the next section up here is a shop. And the shop is usually if people want to buy packages. So I've never done coaching, but I've been a personal trainer before. And so just like with personal training, you have coaching. And so your coaching is such that here it's like a gold package, deluxe, sometimes they call it silver, whatever, basic package. You can put those together. And then the theory is that people are buying a 10-pack, a 5-pack, and then they're going to save some money by purchasing upfront from you, however you want to put those packages together. And then you get a podcast page over here. And that kind of, I guess, acts sort of like your blog, since everyone seems to be making a podcast these days. Over here is the sales page. So here, so you'll notice the thing on the sales page too is there is no header at the top and there's no footer, because when you have a sales page, you want people to just buy. That's the only decision they should be making. Should I purchase? Should I not purchase? Not, hey, let me look at her services. Let me check out her shop first. Let me get some more information on the contact page. You just want them to look at your sales stuff and buy. So all of that's in here, modules, bonuses, the 3 different tiers for pricing over here, pay in full, self-paced, payment plans, all of that. So that is your sales page. Now over here, you're going to see there's a section called bonus pages. There's a book your appointment page over here. Now, so Squarespace, if you didn't know, has a native integration with Acuity Calendar, I believe it's called, and you'll see that on the back end, and you just pay an extra fee, and then it's all integrated into one if you want to use that instead of, say, something like Calendly to book things, and you can ask people to pay at the same time. And I think the other advantage too is with, and I think Calendly does this now too, but with Acuity, you can ask people questions like, tell me your biggest problem, what time zone are you in, what are you trying to achieve, all of those like sort of pre-coaching basic questions. You have a blog page over here too. You want to just have a blog. You have a opt-in for the freebie if you want people to sign up for the mailing list. And again, this has no, it has no header, footer, navigation in it, because you just want, it's sort of just like a landing page. If you send in an email or you put a link inside Instagram or your YouTube description, so people can go here, opt in, join your mailing list. FAQ section, link in bio. So the nice thing about the link in bio is if you've never used this, so here it does a book a call, work with me. You can change all of these, and then when you have, now they allow you multiple links, but before Instagram would only allow one link, and then that way you could send them here, and then they would just have on mobile, it looks like they have a few options, but because it's a link in bio page, it also has freebies. You can add more stuff if people want to keep scrolling, which sometimes they do. What else do you have? You have a 404 error page. Course page. So Squarespace has the ability to host courses. I would highly recommend not using it. A couple things. One, it is extremely expensive for what you get. And two, unless you really need to design a super sophisticated sort of page just for your course, I don't know that it's worth doing all that for. So you have like chapter 1 and 2, chapter 3 or module 3 or whatever. So, I mean, it has a nice layout. It kind of reminds me of the very, very old days when I used to use, what was that course thing? It was some course thing. If you've been with me since I think it was 2015 or 2017, my first course, I used like this WordPress plugin. Anyways, I really liked it. It was really pretty, but WordPress always had so many issues. Anyways, oh yeah, you can change the words here too to be animated and wavy like this. So that's the nice thing, again, about having Squarespace as your course background, but it's so expensive. I would highly recommend not using it. Resources, free stuff, and a testimonial page. Oh, and then, so there's a shopping cart for the shop, assuming you're using the Squarespace e-commerce option, and then book a call. Again, that's that Acuity link. So that is the website. Everyone should have received this already. It should already be in your inbox. There is like nothing else for you to do except click the link and accept it. And you'll notice, because I am a Squarespace, what's it called? Gold Circle, whatever member, your Squarespace website has a 6-month trial. So normally the trials are only 14 days, but because I'm giving you the template, it lasts for 6 months. So 6 months, and then after that, you're going to have to pay to even just look at it if you want. So anyway, someone asked me about domains too. If you want, so that domain, you can just use the Squarespace domain. It'll say something like clavichord.pair.squarespace.com. You can use that. You don't have to use your own custom domain. I mean, they're only $12, so I don't know why you wouldn't. But if you wanted to just use the free domain, test it out for a while, you could do that as well. All right, so this is the email that went out to everybody. At the bottom of the email, it just says, click this link to claim your Squarespace page, and that's it. So today is October 1st. I will go through either tomorrow or the next day, anybody who has clicked for September's template, and then I will transfer ownership if you actually logged in. Some people, I understand, don't want a Squarespace template. For the October one, same thing. This time, a month later, anybody who has opted in to claim that website, that free template I've given you, I will transfer ownership, because right now it says I'm the owner. Don't freak out about it. That's just how it is when you create a Squarespace template. I will 100% give you ownership of your own site. All right. So if you're not sure what to fill out for branding, check out September's workbook, the Google Doc. It was a branding challenge for anyone who was just wondering, what to put in there. So there's that. And what else do we have? Oh, so if you have been wondering, what do I want to coach people on? What kind of services should I offer? There's a website called Outsourcing with Love. And inside of here are, I would say, the top most popular or wanted kind of skill sets that people are looking for. It's kind of funny. There's copywriting in here, which just ignore that. Virtual assistants, marketing, PR, educating and coaching, strategy, finance and legal. The one thing I noticed that was missing here was a revenue coach. And I feel like revenue coaching is still very popular and something that's in demand if you enjoy doing that. If you're not familiar with OWL, I don't even know who this woman is. It's funny because Outsourcing with Love was created by Emily Yost down there at the bottom. And she was the virtual assistant to Kat Schmoyer, who had Creative at Heart. And Kat is still kind of I don't know what she's doing. It looks like she has an agency doing something with launches, and Emily just kind of disappeared. I feel like everyone's just kind of disappearing from the online space. When I started, everyone's just kind of fading away. Anyways, this is the new owner. I don't know who she is. She revamped the website. I think it looked fine before. It still looks cute now. She just wanted to, change the colors and put her own stamp on it. But yeah, so I think this is a good thing, because now that there's a new owner, that means someone's staying on top of things and making sure that all of those different vendors are vetted, and then you can apply to be listed on that website too if you want to offer services. So that's that. So let's just talk about the agenda for today. Let's see. I should say hi. Who's here? Tasha. Shelly's here. Yes, September went so fast. I think it had 30 days. I don't know. Even if it had 31 days, 45 days, it would still go super fast. Hi, Hidden Healings. Robbie. Hi, Ken. I was logged into the wrong account. Aw, maybe that was Hidden Healings. Okay. Starry. Good morning. Thanks for the template. Oh, good. Great. Glad you like it. All right. So, same schedule as always. Didn't really change the agenda. And I don't really have as much to report this month because I did a lot of writing this month as well. I think it's still always good. And like I always say, the word of the month, I have been using the same word all year. And before that, I think you guys remember, there were some months where I was like, well, nothing went right. I'm just going to make my word of the month grace because I didn't get anything done. So you can do that too. My word of the month is still action. And so I'm still just kind of moving forward. Motivation is second. Like, it took me a long time to learn this, but it doesn't matter how motivated I am. I can still get things done, even though I have zero motivation. I just have to keep moving forward. If you like action mantras, you should use these. I felt really empowered when I made them, but to be honest, I don't think I've looked at them since then. So, but I still when I read them, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a good idea. I do remember that. So you never know. You might need to print and post them somewhere, and that's something I just haven't done. Quotes. Sometimes people are more influenced by quotes than they are mantras, so those are up there too. And then habits. So I don't know. I hate habit stacking, but I do like the fact that I've been tracking all of my habits. So caffeine is still a no, and I just don't think I'll ever add it in. I just can't see a reason why I would add caffeine because I've never been addicted to caffeine before. I don't need coffee in the morning, so just being able to cut it out has been very helpful. The extra calories from the lattes, so yeah, still going strong with the no caffeine. So I've changed from no sugar to limited sugar. We'll see how that goes. So for this month, I made scones. I found this really great scone package. I think I put it in there. I put it in there later, but I absolutely love it. So it's been, I guess, a year so far. Yeah, because this is going to be October, and then I moved here in November. So it'll be a year that I've been in Florida, and that'll make it a whole year without any processed sugar. Okay, so 10K runs. I actually skipped my 10K run. Well, I did it 3 Saturdays this month, but I skipped one Saturday because I got the pneumonia shot last month. So if you haven't done this, I'm all into getting up on my vaccines, and pneumonia now, they advise you to get it at the 50-year-old age mark instead of, it used to be 65. They have a new one now. It lasts they still say it only lasts for 10 years, but some people say it lasts forever. I don't know. So by the time it runs out when I'm 62, I guess I'll get a booster again. I'm not really sure. But anyways, 10K runs getting much easier. Still doing cardio sword fighting on Sundays. It actually isn't as hard as it was the first time. The first time my arms kind of were tired, and now they're not tired at all, which made me think one thing, maybe I don't need to do this anymore because I'm so strong. But I think just, that 1 day per week usage does kind of help keep things, I guess, in maintenance mode. Is that the right word? So yeah, so I'm going to still stick with it because there's really nothing else that I like doing with my upper body. You know what I mean? There's no, I don't like tennis. I really don't like swimming. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to stick with sword fighting for now. So it's been 4 months. And if you want to do it, it's really fun. You should try it just to do something new. She has other classes too. She has cardio kickboxing class. What else does she have? Just abs and squats kind of class. I don't know, it's called Athletica. It's just movement. But yeah, check them out. What else? Oh, I finally made it under 135. I've had like 3 months of failures, I think. And so it's kind of funny because like last month I was 135.4, which I said was a fail because I said I wanted to be under 135. And this month I'm 148.8. So I really just like, so last month I failed by 0.4 and this month I succeeded by 0.2. So very tiny. And that actually took it took a lot of work. And even then you can see like on, what was it, Wednesday, I was up to 136.2. So like your weight does vary. But I feel like the overall average should stay lower. So if you look at the month and the way those green spikes work, September was much more volatile. And I feel like October was a little more even keeled because what I did is I stopped snacking after dinner. So all of, I'm going to say July, August, September, because I finally hit like 135, my maintenance weight. I was like, you know what? I can loosen up. I can like have some ice cream and have whatever. And I can't have any of those things. So what I did for this last month, for August or September, I can't even remember the months, September, is I just after dinner, there was like 2 times I had popcorn. But other than that, I tried to just do water. And what I did is I bought Perrier and some limes, which I'm not really into bubbly water. I pretty much only drink water. And so the Perrier has like the bubbles in it, and it doesn't really it's hard to say. It doesn't like satisfy your thirst like when you're thirsty, but it like was entertaining enough, if that makes sense, to like entertain me so I didn't need a snack after dinner. And when I say snacks, sometimes it would be just chips or that Smart popcorn, which is not very smart. It's that cheesy popcorn. And you wouldn't think it would like add up, but I think it adds up over time. So anyways, that's the only thing I did differently for the month to help me get down. Starry, that seems like a fun workout. Feel like a total badass for an hour. Yeah, it does. People do look at me weird, but I feel like I'm okay with that. All right, hormone replacement therapy. So I finally officially went up to the 0.07. And so fingers crossed, same thing, so far so good. No hot flashes or flu-like symptoms. And yeah, so we'll see. I think too, where you put the patch, so I put the transdermal patch like on my butt, just because, I don't know, it seems easier there. It doesn't run into like my pants or anything in the front when you're like putting clothes on and off. But it did say that it's absorbed better through like fat. And not that like I'm all muscle in the back, but I'm definitely more fatty, I guess, in the front than I am in my backside. So I've switched it back over to the front. So we'll see if that makes a difference as well. Another one bites the dust. So does anyone remember Creative Live? So Creative Live's like Domestika. It has some online classes on things that, might be interesting to, I don't know, somebody like photography, how to use Photoshop, how to use Adobe Illustrator. Anyways, they were kind of using, so Domestika, if you've gone to their site, they have very high quality courses, but they require the instructors to fly out to, I believe it's Spain, to Barcelona or Madrid to do the filming. And so the same thing with Creative Live, they require you to fly out. Now, I don't know where their studios were. I think it was Seattle, maybe. I feel like I could be making that up. But anyways, they're out of business. So I feel like this is a good reminder for anybody that if you've ever paid for anything or bought a course, then go in line and go download it, watch it, take some notes, use it, because you just don't know. Like I said, like the Emily Yost person from Outsourcing with Love, I don't know where she's at. She's just MIA and she's gone forever. And same thing with what else was gone this year? Bench, gone forever. Well, they were bought by somebody else. But this is just happening left and right. I feel like in the online world, I don't know what's happening. It was like we had this big boom. Everyone was fighting to get online back in like 2015 to 2021. And then after COVID ended, it kind of like everything's just kind of dying off. So anyways, that was Creative Live. I actually don't have, I got this notice, but I don't have any courses that I purchased. I always purchased, they had a 1-month trial or annual pass or whatever. So when you have the annual pass, you can only use it then. So, but it's fine. I think a lot of the things, I looked at the things that I looked at, and most of them are outdated anyway. Like, what was her name? Paper Camp. Does anyone remember Paper Camp? I can't remember her name. She was really nice, and she charged like something ungodly, like $3,500 for Paper Camp to like just teach you how to have a display at one of those big trade shows. Anyways, the trade show has gone away and will never come back probably. It went out of business during COVID, and her course obviously went out of business because no one needs to learn about how to go to a trade show that no longer exists. So that's basically what was inside of there, those things that I had paid for. All right, now moving on to fun stuff. So what did I read this month? I can't believe I've never discovered Catherine Center. So just by luck, her book, The Bodyguard, came up as a recommendation, and it was so funny. It was like a really good rom-com, and I loved it, even though it was like totally unbelievable that this woman is a bodyguard for this really buff, like manly actor. But aside from the believability factor, it was actually really good. And then the love haters, it was, again, there's like every book I seem to have issues with. Like she was like so like fixated on her thighs, and like I'm sick of hearing about it. But I really like the book. So I don't know what that says about me. So is she a school teacher, or she has kids that are in school? I don't know, something like that. So there is absolutely zero sex in her book, and she said it's because she's worried that her kids will be embarrassed by it. But that's fine. It's more like women's fiction, but they did a really good job, I feel like, on the internal GMC, which is goal, motivation, conflict, for like resolving those for both of the hero and the heroine. Now, I figured out too, she's popular because she has 2 books that were made into movies, and these were more women's fictions books. So the first one, The Lost Husband, so we actually watched it here at the house. My parents watched it with me. It was so good, and then all of a sudden at the end, it's like everyone's like, oh, we ran out of time for the movie, or everyone's like, I don't feel like filming this movie anymore, and they just ended it. It was like literally the world's worst ending to a movie ever. Like it made me like annoyed. I didn't even watch the second movie, which is Happiness for Beginners. I think it's another women's fiction. It's like that movie Wild or whatever with Reese Witherspoon, where I think she just goes on some hike and something, just discovers herself. But anyways, they were very popular on Netflix, and yeah, so I think that's why she was popular. B School. You know what? Marie Forleo is actually still around and kicking. She is still selling B School. I don't think it's been updated since 2015, but it's still there. Hasn't changed at all. So, but yeah. B School. Yeah, it's still priced at like $3,000. And then she has another course, like Time Genius, same thing. It's like $5,000 on like how to learn how to be more productive. I don't even know. I'm just like, people must be signing up, but I'm kind of like, people aren't paying those thousands and thousands of dollars anymore for courses. At least I don't think so. So I have been wanting this for a year, and I finally got it. So October has what's called Amazon Prime Days or Prime Deals. I don't even follow it, and I've never bought anything for Amazon Prime, but because of that, everyone puts things on sale. So I noticed that this went on sale. It's normally like $328 is like, I think the retail price, or $299. So they had a deal where you could get the phone plus, or I think it's an e-reader. I'm not even sure what it is. Is it a phone? I don't know what's going on with this thing, but I am only getting it because it has that ink, like the e-ink, like just like my Kindle, and I can read it. So when I'm reading in bed, I don't know if anyone else does this, I don't sit up reading in bed and, like you see in the 1980s movies where someone's sitting and they're like propped up against the wall. I don't do that. I lay on my side and I just hold my phone or the Kindle to the side. Well, the Kindle Oasis that I have is big and square, so it just takes up too much room, and I always want to use my phone, but when I use my phone, because it doesn't have e-ink, it like, I don't know if the blue light like stops me from seeing, but it just like hurts my eyes. So I have been wanting this for a while. It's like shaped like a phone, but it has the e-ink, and it's even better than the Kindle because the Kindle you can only read Amazon Kindle book. This one you can download Everand, you can download Libby, Hoopla, all of those different apps and read books that way. So I am very excited about this. Anyways, if you buy it directly from Books, on their website, you can get the deal where you can get the flip case plus, or the protective case plus the actual Palma all together. And if you bought the case by itself, it's like $16 plus you have to pay for shipping. So it's just better to do that in case you were looking. But this is basically, I don't know who this woman is. I just screenshot this, but like the difference in the size between the Kindle versus the Books, it's just enough where like when I'm laying sideways, my arm has to be up and like active versus like if it's a phone, I can just leave it down and my hand can just swipe. Yeah, I know, but like how lazy can I be? That's me. Plus I figured like for this like indulgence, I read every single day, like multiple books a day. So it's not as if like it's something I'd buy and just never use. Also known as my iPad Pro, which I always buy and never use. So I feel like this is a good investment. Oh, here it is. This is the scone mix that I love. So there was another scone mix called like Seven Sisters or Five Sisters or something. They were in San Francisco. They were really popular. And then they were like, when I found them, they were like, oh, we've cut off ordering because we are moving into grocery stores, which, great, good for them. But that was like almost a year ago, still not in grocery stores. So I was like, I'm just going to look for an alternative. And I found the Scone Goddess and I absolutely love them. You just buy some heavy cream, mix it with the scone mix, and then I froze them overnight and then pop them in the oven and they're perfect. So it does make a lot of scones. Two things I realized when I researched, because I'd never like baked scones before. You don't need a scone pan. I don't know why. Scone pans are like $35 or $50 or something crazy like that. You don't need a scone pan. You just shape the scone how you want, freeze it, and then when you bake it, it retains that same shape. And two, just bake what you need that day, because I don't know if you're the same way, but I like baked goods when they're like fresh. So if you are going to freeze them anyway into individual like triangles, you might as well just only bake one for the day. And they don't take that long. They're only like 20 minutes in the oven. So yeah. Yes, I wanted the Books for note-taking, but couldn't justify the price. Yeah, it is really expensive. I still just use a notebook for everything. I just like writing on a notebook. I like writing with a pen on paper. I like pencils. I like calligraphy. I just don't, and I've tried so hard to get into digital calligraphy and to digital drawing and everything. I just don't like it. And it doesn't give me the same feedback, if that makes sense. Like I find doing calligraphy very relaxing, but when I do it on the iPad, it's very stressful. I don't know why. It's very, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Time tracking app. So what did I do? So I actually worked a lot less this month. So last month, my daily average was 8.21, and that's really because I was so focused. There was like, it was book 5, or was it book 5 or book 4 in the Cupcake Mystery that had issues in it, and I had like a really tight deadline, and like it was like really focused work. So this month I took it a little easier. In fact, I did 25 hours less total for the month of writing than I did the month before, which I think is fine. I still was able to meet all of my goals. We'll talk about that. So my average this month was 7.26. Plus I did make time for walking after dinner towards the end of the month, which the month before it was so hot, I just stayed in. So the year at a glance goal, which I have to say, now that I've switched over to this new system, I really like it. I'm going to stick with it for 100% for 2026. Even if I don't know what the goal is, I just like seeing everything as like one big snapshot. Anyways, yes, September, I wrote the last book in my Cupcake Mystery series. It is sitting with the developmental editor like for a week now, and then as soon as she gives me back edits, I will revise that, and then it will be done. I'm so excited. Anyways, for October, November, and December, I am actually going back to romance writing, which is crazy because before I was like, I will never write a romance again, and I think it was because maybe I was really jaded in my own life. I don't know, but I was just sick of writing romance. And I think also because the reverse harems weren't making money, to be honest. Like, they just were making, they had made $20,000 when we first launched. And then I was like, all excited. And then Alana's like, yeah, but I spent $20,000 on Facebook ads. I'm like, so we made a $0 profit. Great. So then I was like, and then I tried writing my own reverse harem, and that really didn't take off either. So I was like, you know what? Forget romance. And then when I wrote the mysteries, and I think this is 100% because Melissa Storm is so good at Facebook ads and publishing, and just, she's just very business savvy when it comes to books. And when I had my books with her, they were making thousands of dollars again. And so that's why I was like, I'm just going to switch to mysteries and only write mysteries. And then when I bought back all of my titles, they made $0 again. So I don't know what it is about indie publishing that I am awful at, but I just suck at it. So that's why hopefully, like, any advice you see from me on marketing, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm guessing. Clearly it's not working for me. And I don't do paid ads. That's the thing too. I think, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure unless you go viral on TikTok for your books, you need to be running paid ads because there's just so many books out there. They're such a low price point, right? Like you have, like when you think about the digital world and you have like a Marie Forleo selling something ridiculous for $5,000, she only needs to sell like 20 of those, right? To like make it worth her time versus books. If I sold 20 $1.99 books by the time Amazon took their cut and everyone, I'd have like 50 cents or something, right? So I'd have to sell hundreds of thousands to like make a profit. So it's just a very different model. It's a different product. It's a different industry, strategy, everything else. So there's that. I love that it's so much nicer, right? You just feel more accomplished even though you didn't. Anyway, so my point is, I am going back to romance writing because I do like romance writing. And I used to say, oh, I hate it, but I don't think I do hate it because I've been thinking about this all year and I think this is what I want to do. So let's go on. All right, so my goal, I have 2 goals for the month. One is I would like to write this book. I have a developmental editor lined up for October 31st. I would like to finish the book. I'm doing I don't know if you call it a novella. It's, I'm going to do a category romance, so it's only 50,000 words. Because I don't think I couldn't do 80,000 of a romance. So I'm going to try to do a short 50,000 word romance for this month. And then also another goal too, and I'm going to try to do this simultaneously because sometimes I get bogged down in learning and then I do nothing. So I'm going to try to learn, but I'm not going to stop writing just because I haven't learned, if that makes sense. I haven't written romance in a while. And so anyways, this is a new book, that one at the top left, Secrets to Writing a Romance. It's from the people who wrote Fictionary. I just liked it because it had some modern examples. There's one author, I took a workshop with her. God, what is her name? She has curly hair. She wrote Love is Screenwriting or whatever. Anyways, her examples are always super old, like from the 1980s. And sure, that's great, but I feel like they're outdated and like, I just don't know. I just want more modern examples. So Secrets to Writing Romance uses The Bodyguard, first of all, which is that Catherine Center novel I loved. So I am excited about that. Romancing the Beat, everyone always talks about this. I don't know that I loved it. I didn't hate it. I'm going to give it another try. Write Naked, I read that when it first came out. It's been a while. And then Jennifer Props came out with another book, Write True. So she's a romance writer. She just talks about romance. And she's just a really nice person. So I was like, I'm just going to read the book. I bought it. And then Seven Figure Fiction. This book is like so popular with so many romance artists, and I don't want to say I hate it, I just couldn't get it. Like, it just didn't click with me. So I'm going to try it again because I feel like everybody loves it. Maybe I'm missing something, and now that I'm writing romance again, I should like go into it with a set of fresh eyes. So that, and then this month, and I talked about this before, I bought this like months ago, the Writing Gals is having a conference this month, a romance conference. So very excited to get back into romance writing and, get more. And you'll notice 100% is all just focused on craft. I could care less about marketing. I don't think that's really where my strength is anyway. Okay, so if you are wondering what's going on for NaNoWriMo, they are dead. They are gone. They're never going to be around again, but you have some options. So the first option is Pro Writing Aid. So Pro Writing Aid is kind of like Grammarly, I think. I did a review on it. I have it. I bought one of those lifetime licenses last year during Black Friday. So I would say if you're going to buy it, we're so close to Black Friday, just wait because it had like a really good deal. They're hosting Novel November, which seems to be the new thing. Like everybody has joined Novel November. All the big names, all the big companies, whatever, are going to Novel November. It's free to sign up. It works kind of just like NaNoWriMo, but I think it has a prettier interface. It's much more user-friendly. The only difference is you don't have friends. So in NaNoWriMo, you could track your friends, they could track you. But for this one, instead, you can just join, I think what's called groups. I think they're using the Circle platform for that. So what did you use to make that year at a glance? It seems like a cool idea, like a vision board, but simpler. I just used Canva. So that was it. If you want it, if you're in Planner Pixies, everyone got a copy of that. All right, so Pro Writing Challenge. Oh, Novel 90. I did this for their summer. It's a 3-month program, and I actually really liked it. I think you should sign up for all of these. This one's sponsored by AutoCrit, and this one sends you text messages and emails every day. It like just keeps you like, you're like, oh, did I write today? Oh, I should. Oh, what should I be thinking about? So it like just keeps writing at the top of your mind for the whole 90 days, not just November. So I really like that, and it's free. Now, thank you to Karen. So Karen actually recommended this. This is the London Writers Salon. You don't need to be in London. You don't need to be British. You can still join. It's the same thing. It's free. Now, 90 days starts today, and 100 days started a couple days ago, I think like a week or two ago. So don't worry about it. You can still sign up, but they're just different, right? And they're all just there, other writers to connect with, to help you, give tips, ideas, and I think just helping you to keep it top of mind. So Karen, lost track. No, you're perfect on time. We were just talking about you. So thank you for giving everyone that writing resource, because I actually didn't even know it. Karen also mentioned the Novelry too. The Novelry has I don't know, they're really expensive. They're like $1,600 courses. So yeah. But thanks to Karen for finding that. All right, so what is happening this month? Oh, Amazon First Read. So you got 2 picks this month, and I know this is a little weird, but I picked the children's book. I picked the children's picture book. So I got the contemporary romance, and then I was like, you know what? I just can't. My TBR list is so long, and there's nothing else on this list where I was really excited. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get the children's book, and I actually love it. It's really cute. So in this children's book, because it's called Best Day Ever, if you like planners and you like organizing, you're going to like it, because each day of the week has a personality, and they have a little thing. I don't know. I thought it was cute. Anyways, that's what I got. So my 5 books on Everand. So Everand is a book service where you can get ebooks and audiobooks, well, whatever they have in their catalog. And I paid $289 per year, and with that I get 5 what they call unlocks per month. And so I bought Meghan Quinn till summer. I've actually never read Meghan Quinn. She is one of the highest paid indie romance authors, and it's funny, she only writes straight romance, but she is a lesbian in real life. So I don't know, I guess there's plenty of straight authors who write gay romance, so that are women, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I just thought that was interesting. Anyways, I'm finally reading one of her books. I've never read one before. It sounds like she writes rom-com-ish kind of style. I only started reading it. Love Proposal. This started out so strong. So I listened to the sample. It was super cute. And it started with the male POV first versus the female. And I think because of that, I just never got into the female POV. So she's a woman who cheated her best friend's boyfriend cheated with her, so all of the people at the wedding hate her, which I kind of feel like Yeah, justifiably. So I guess I just don't like her in general because her excuse for cheating was that she thought they were in love or something stupid, which is like every person's excuse for dating a married guy or someone who's taken, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. So I DNF'd that, even though I used it as one of my unlocks. And then Bryn Weaver. So Bryn Weaver blew up on TikTok because she had a book about serial killers that fell in love. And this tourist season is the same thing. They're assassins, I think they're called, not serial killers. They're just like hitmen, like for hire killers, so not serial killers. And they are falling in love, I guess, in this book. So the other ones, her other books I didn't really like, but this one is traditionally published, which I hate saying this, but I feel like because there's a professional editor with this and like a whole company behind it, I do have higher hopes for it because she has a good voice. Like it was entertaining, but her indie books just weren't, I hated them. So anyways, I'm going to give this a try. I've listened to like the first 2 chapters so far, and so far so good. So we'll see. Overruled, I really don't like Enemies to Lovers. Now, I like Lana Ferguson. She has other books. This is her, I think, only contemporary book. Every other book has some super, like they turn into the Loch Ness Monster. They turn into werewolves. They turn into vampires. They all have supernatural something, even though they have a contemporary cover. This one I think is just 2 lawyers, and so far I don't like it. And I don't know why. I don't like the enemies to lovers tropes where they're all just, every thought she has about him is he's such an a-hole, he's such a, D, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, why are you even with him? And maybe it's because I just don't get that trope. I don't know. I'm going to keep reading it. I do like Lana Ferguson, so I'm going to try at least to the 50% mark until I DNF this one. So, and then The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. So I had such a, like the first chapter was amazing, right? Because you listen to the samples. And then I don't even know what happened. For the first 10 chapters, no joke, nothing happens. She just complains the entire time, like she's a 10-year-old, about how much she hates her boss. Finally, in chapter 11, he asks her to marry him for a green card. And in chapter 12, she says yes. So I was like, oh my God. And the only reason I kept listening to it is one of those things where you have a book in your ear, you're listening to it at 3.5 speed or 3 speed, and you're mopping the floor or something else. So I was like, this book is awful, but I don't want to go and change the book and take my gloves off, and I just want to finish cleaning. Anyways, that's as far as I made it. I did DNF it. I don't think I'm going to finish it because it's just, there's like no chemistry between the two of them. And he has said literally nothing for the first 12 chapters. So anyways, those are my picks for the month. And I did go into all of them with high hope, so we'll see. October, nothing is going on. Ellie Alexander is hosting her Ashland Mystery Fest in Oregon. I think Courtney's going to that. She always makes time to go to that. And I saw that she is writing romance. She has 2 romance books coming out. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Everyone's switching over from mystery to romance. And then I have my October 31 deadline to get my romance written. So not a lot happening this month for me. Don't forget to get your Squarespace template. And if you don't know how to use Squarespace, there was a small tutorial in last month's Plan With Me. And I think that's it. All right. I hope everybody is having a wonderful and fabulous start to your month. Thank you. We'll look into it in Planner Pixies. Just now getting back into things. Yeah, if you go to January of this year, everything you need is in January of this year that you see here. It was like the template, that whole year at a glance. There's a big wall calendar that you can print out. So hopefully that helps. Sounds really gutsy. Has Lisa got a fan going near the mic? I do have a fan. Is it hard to hear? So I am like so hot. So the positive part is I haven't sweated. I was so sweaty last month. I don't know if anyone remembers, but this month I am not sweaty, and it's because I have literally 3 fans going on. But if you can't hear me, let me know. We'll try to do something else for next month. All right. I will see everybody later, and I hope you're all having a great Wednesday. Bye.